You're listening to the Caravan on KRVS. In the studio, I guess originally from Lake Charles, Louisiana,
That's right.
Eleisha Eagle. Welcome, Eleisha.
Thank you.
Eleisha, we've been hearing a lot about you for the past couple of years, and it's just astounding. A few months ago, we lost power here at the station, and Carl Fontenot, our chief engineer, was out of the transmitter site. So to get something on air, he happened to have your disc and put that on. And we had several calls inquiring, who this was. And I tell you what, personally, when I turned on the radio, I thought, I didn't realize that we were off the air. I thought I was listening to World Cafe, and I'm doing, oh look, they're playing. I thought it was like Nellie McKay or something. And then Carl comes on and says it's Eleisha Eagle. Now you've been playing in this area, for the last year or two. You've done a few gigs here in town, I think, between Atmosphere and 307.
Right.
Let's go back are you originally from Lake Charles?
I am originally from Lake Charles.
That's amazing. I've realized that, especially since I've been doing this program, that Lake Charles seems to has produced a nice little set of female vocalists, songwriters that are just amazing. In fact, my very first live guest was someone from Lake Charles, and we've of course I've had several other people come through, and I don't know what there is about Lake Charles, and I find the singer-songwriters from Lake Charles tend to approach music in a sort of different vein than a lot of singer-songwriters, and you are definitely no exception, if not the most extreme example I've heard yet.
Well, thank you, I think.
What I mean by that is that, you don't seem to, when I listen to music, I don't get the fact that you've grown up listening to a lot of what other people are listening to. I hear a lot of show tune influence in your music, musical theater, exactly. Well, tell us a little bit about your musical interest growing up. When did you start playing piano? We'll start off with that.
I started when I was about 7 years old. I was in first grade, and my grandmother got me a piano to learn and take lessons, and I'd wanted to go to Juilliard, when I was 7 years old. I decided. You
wanted to go to Juilliard? You've heard, I don't know many 7-year-olds who even know what Juilliard is.
I was lucky to have one of those grandmothers that, she played piano, and she groomed me in a way.
Now, they bought you a piano. Was this a nice piano?
It was not. It was nice to me. I didn't know the difference,
well,
but
right.
There were keys that stuck and things like that. But it was perfect for practicing, which is, I hated to do when I was younger, but now I love it.
So what kind of things did you learn at first? Was it, your basic classical?
All classical. Classical probably until about high school, when I was like, okay, I'm bored with the classical. Can I learn some jazz or anything? I think the first non-classical piece I learned was Root Beer Rag, which I don't even remember now, but...
Root Beer Rag?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a ragtime.
Okay.
But so yeah. Then when I went to college, I stopped doing the music thing and I was going into art. And
now, how long ago was that when you were in college?
That was how many years ago?
It can't be many.
I want to say it was 2001 when I went to college, so
okay.
About 7 years. And I took a class there called Simply Sondheim, which studied the lyrics and the music of Stephen Sondheim, which I was big into theater growing up, and musical theater, and studying those lyrics and the way that he wrote and his inner rhymes and alliteration and things like that. I was so intrigued that I dropped out of college and decided to be a singer-songwriter.
The irony in that. You go to college, and what you're learning in college forces you to drop out of college. I guess it happens to a lot of us. It shows throughout. So I guess that was it. Sondheim was the
he was the catalyst.
Impetus,
yes.
For all of that. So when did you decide? When was the first song what made you decide to write a song? What was the first song? Do you remember the first song you ever penned?
The first song that I ever penned was when I was about 7 years old, and that one was terrible.
Well, let's say after college.
Okay, after college, the first one that I wrote in the style that I write now and everything with piano, it was called Little Sister, and it was whenever my sister had come to visit me in Nashville, because I lived there for a few years. And And when she left, I was so sad. I just, I moved to Nashville not knowing a soul, just wanting to do the music thing. And it was so good to have someone that I knew around to visit me. And then when she left, I wrote this song, just kind of, telling her that, okay, be strong and do what you want to do. And I don't know. And it started from there.
So how long have you've put out, I think, 3 discs so far. When did your first one come out?
That was 3 years ago. I've released one a year since so I want to say I copyrighted that one in 2005.
Well, so you're relatively new at this game, and
yes.
Well, I'm very impressed because to have come up with the material I've heard so far in so short a time is pretty incredible. We're gonna let maybe everyone hear a little sample of what you've been up to musically. What are we gonna hear live in studio this morning?
I'm gonna play a song from my newest record called Avenue of Smiles. The record's called Lamplighter, though. Mm-hmm. And this is a song that I wrote whenever I was living in California, actually on the Avenue of Smiles, but I was miserable. So
okay, we'll keep that in mind.
I wake up knowing I am nowhere close to where I want to be. I shuffle forward, but I can't get further for the life of me. I've trapped myself in sadness on the avenue of smiles, been driven to near madness on the avenue of smiles, the avenue of smiles. My heart is wrestling with the hope that everything will disappear. I sit confessing this to anyone willing to lend an ear. I am drowning in regression on the avenue of smiles, been wallowed in depression on the avenue of smiles, the avenue of smiles, yeah, the avenue of smiles. To pain within, and now I'm asking you to pull me out before I suffocate. You alone can make the cloud that's hovering evaporate, and teach me to enjoy life on the avenue of smiles. Teach me to enjoy life on the avenue of smiles. Teach me to enjoy life on the avenue of smiles. The avenue of smiles, yeah, the avenue